Alright, what's happening, everybody? What a crazy day today. I traded one stock, because as you can see what it is, aker. Before I get into my trades, I want to show you something. So if you're not in our chat room, it's free. I actually alerted this stock real time. Now this isn't like the way that everybody trades it, but I just want to show you real quick what I was thinking. So as you can see, this is at like probably around 5:30, 6 o'clock a.m. As you can see right here, it got to high as 850. And then I drew this line at 8, and then I drew a line at 640, and then I drew the main support, and then I drew the main support. So like I say, this is all time stamped, about 6 a.m. And this is kind of my plan, and I'll get into what I was thinking here. So if I go back to 1 year, so this day right here is what I was going off of. So this day right here, this stock went from 596 to high of, I believe it was high of $8. So when aker was moving this morning, I drew them levels. And then I'm like, all right, if this thing really struggles at 8, there's a good chance it comes back to this 647. So that's where I thought the stock would possibly close at. But as you can tell, this stock can go to the high side. So well, the 1 day. So in pre-market, this is where I was alerting it. When this was right here, this is where I started drawing them lines. Obviously you can see that in the picture. So this is the previous day close, the last time the stock got to $8. So I drew the line up here at $8, and then I seen it this morning, it was selling off. And I was like, damn it. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this is doing exactly what it did yesterday. If we look at yesterday, what did the stock do? Same thing. It had a huge spike, and then it sold off, and then it came back, retested the high, broke high of day, and so on and so forth. So when I seen this, I'm like, yeah, that sucks. And I was actually almost thinking about buying it down here. But you know me, I'm not much of a long bias trader. The reason why I get in these stocks is because I believe there's a good possibility that these stocks are going to get crushed. It doesn't happen all the time, but. So I'm like, at this time, I was like, all right, I got to go to work. So on my way to work, I'm like, all right, maybe it'll start popping up, and then I'll look to see if I can get some shares to short it. So I get to work, and this 594 level, I start seeing turn into support. I'm like, that's a really, really good sign. I'm like, that would have been an excellent buy. I had my support at 469. As you can tell in the picture, that picture I showed you in the chat room. And then when I had 594 as support, I'm like, this thing is going to 8. So we come back, and now all of a sudden, okay, the market opens, right? As soon as the market opens, I see this thing start 640 now turns in support. So I'm like, wow, this is where I'm expecting the stock to close. If it gets over 640, there's a really, really good chance that this is going to 8. And then all of a sudden, I see it go higher. All of a sudden, I see 750. I see a pullback to 7. And then I see it start ripping again. I'm like, man, this is working out. So I'm like, all right, I want to see how the stock reacts at the $8 range. I don't want to just short it at 8 because that's my theory. Because the stock can spike up, pull back, as you can tell on yesterday's spike up, pull back, and then start ripping. So I wasn't too confident shorting this thing super early in the morning, just because shorts can get squeezed. So as I seen this pulling up to this $8 range, I'm like, all right, I want to see how this does here. I knew the high was 850 pre-market. So we broke 8, and then right up here we got to 885, and we had a huge pullback to this 8, and then we flush under 8, and I'm like, oh, all right, this is looking like a good short. Okay, so I got short right here at like 795, right? The reason why I don't like shorting this early is because they have the whole rest of the day to push a stock. So when I'm shorting really early like this, I'm really on edge. So, okay, I got short, and then we come over, and we break above 8 again. I'm like, all right, if this thing rips to 885 and makes a new high, I have to cut it, because obviously this thing can run. And you know, that was a risk I was taking. But like I say, in my mind, I seen what this thing does at $8, and I'm thinking there's a really good chance that this could have a pullback. And here's where I went wrong. So I'm gonna get rid of the 738 line. So as this thing is spiking, your first near support is right here, $7. That's your first support. I'll draw a line. This is why I don't like shorting real early in the morning, is because the stock market the market's only been open for a half hour. This thing can rip. So when I'm shorting this early, there's so much the risk is high. I'm not gonna lie. So it came back up and retested and didn't even get to 850. I'm like, all right, that's a really good sign. Well, as it came back down, I covered right here. Now, after I covered, I looked down. I'm like, the near support is 7. I'm like, if this thing can't break 850, it goes to 7. But I didn't want to get back in the trade, because at that point, I feel like I'm chasing it. So I'm like, nope, I'm just going to let it do its thing, and 99% chance, I'm sure it's going to 7. So we move on. We hit that $7 range. That's why it's really important. When you see this thing just straight spike up, this is your near support. If it cannot break 850, it goes to 7. But like I say, I told you the reasoning why I don't like shorting the front side of moves, because it's the front side. It's not telling me it's the back side yet. But it gets more interesting. So the $7 becomes support. And then it has another retest of 780. So if I'd have never sold my position when it came up to 780, I don't know. It could have been one of the scenarios. It happened to me like 2 weeks ago where I covered, but I don't know. I was already out on my trade at this point, and then I seen a flush right here. Now this, I'm like, yep. If you actually watch, I want to say it's a week ago. I don't even think it was 2 weeks ago. Two stocks, I believe. CEI. I believe it was CEI. I could be wrong. Maybe it was... I don't know. I'd have to go back in my videos and look. But when I seen this right here, now this I'm confident with, because I've seen this pattern 3 times in the last 2 weeks. And I'm having a brain fart. But right here, I'm like, now it's game on. I know where the stock is going. So as it came back through, I didn't get the best short, the best price, but I got filled, I believe. Let me just double check here. I want to say, well, now my computer's being stupid. What the hell? Just give me a second. Okay. Let's see here. 574 at 1111. So 574, 1111. So somewhere right where that's where I got filled. And as soon as I seen that, I'm like, now this is where I shine, because this pattern, I've seen this 3 times in 2 weeks. I was like, it's on now. So I got short, came back up, retested, fell through, went to 550, and then I started setting orders around the $6 range. So I had one set at like $5.80, $5.90, $6. And then I had another one set at $6.50. Because I figured if we break the 645-ish, I thought in the back of my mind, at least go up to 650, go have a 1-minute candle, completely fake out all the longs, trap them, and then flush right through. Well, it didn't do that. So what happened is right here. I got another ad right here at 6. We got to high of 644. I had another 100 shares to short this at 650. So if I would have got that other 150, if I would have got that other 100 shares at 650 like I wanted, I would have, my average would have been like, let's see if it would have probably been like 610, 620 with 500 shares, but I didn't get that last fill, so I didn't have the greatest average. It was decent, but nonetheless, the reason why I'm explaining this is because this pattern is very predictable. So as this popping back up, I thought we were going to fake out the longs, which we did fake out all the longs. Why people were buying this is beyond me. And then we came back through to 594, and as soon as I seen this, I'm like, all right, I know where this is going. So I looked down here, and I'm like, all right, you got your major supports 545, 550 to 560. I'm like, all right, so I set my order at 560 to get filled on 400 shares. And then we came back down, and then let's see here, where did I execute it? 1438. So right in here is where I covered my position at 560. So this was perfect short for me, because as soon as I seen this, I knew exactly where the price was going. But like I say, up here, I'm definitely taking a risk because I'm shorting the front side of the move, and this is not telling me. I mean, yeah, this candle did tell me that 80.85 I'm going to pull back, and then we formed higher support. But it's still risky. But the only reason why I shorted this is because like I say in the morning, is when I look back on history, I seen what the stock did at $8 a share. I'm like, all right, I want to take a stab with 500 shares around as close as I can get to $8. So I got filled, like I say, at $7.94. So that was as close to $8 as I could get. And then it worked out perfect. You know, if I would have held that, it would have worked out phenomenal. You know, that would have been a nice winner, but hindsight's always 20/20. But this trade was very, very predictable. So that was the only 2 trades that I made all day on AKER. I missed this one. It's unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. Now I'll show you my P&L for the day, so you can see all my fills, everything. This is where I started. This is where I got my last 400 fills. And then if you want to leave the video at that time, you're more than welcome to. But if you want to stay in, I'll show you exactly what I'm going to look for the stock tomorrow. So if I go back on this day, and this stock set a close at 647. Oh no. So 771, and then it closed right here, 639. And the next day it went to 577. So the high of this candle is 645. The low of it is I don't know, 578. So I think tomorrow it ain't gonna have a big move, but there is gonna be a quick trade on this, I believe. Like 20-30 cents, nothing big, but you know what? I'll take a couple $100. The other one that I was looking at, I actually got shares to short this, but I never actually took any trades on it. Just give me 2 seconds. I gotta. I believe I remember what it was, but this video might be a little long. Oh yeah, DPW. Now this one I actually took 1,000 shares to short it. The only reason why I didn't is because obviously there's a channel right here. I would say the 150-ish. That's what I'd be playing off. If I was short, I'd be playing the 150 to, I don't know, the 180s. So there's definitely a decent channel in this, and I'm not saying there's not, but I thought there was a lot more opportunity in aker. So that was my main attention, and I seen this one falling this morning. I got the shares to short it, and I'm like, nope, I know that this thing is just not going to give up already. So when I went to 195, if I look at the history, I mean, this thing can close strong, kind of like what it did today. So tomorrow, what I'm looking for is a gap down. If I see a gap down, I'm gonna probably play it. And the gap downs aren't really that huge. High of 184, close, so 30 cents. And yeah, probably 30 cents is the most you're gonna get on this play tomorrow if it gaps down. So these telling me that it can close strong, and this is semi-decent. So this is another, I'm guessing 30 cents, 175 to 151. Yeah, 20-30 cents at the most you're probably going to get out of DPW if it gaps down tomorrow, which would probably put it to 146. I'm guessing somewhere in this range. 113 it'll probably go to, and that's about it. So yeah, that was my trade today on aker. And all in all, this was a phenomenal trade, I thought. This, like I say, it was good because I had a plan. My plan was to short around $8. I executed it perfect. I wouldn't take anything back that I did. It's just I personally don't like shorting the front side of a move. But it all worked out. And I guess if you have any questions, any comments, leave them down below. And yeah, I guess we'll see what happens tomorrow. Until then, traders, peace.